Presidential Campaign Council is calling for the arrest of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar.
Absolutely. Well, joining us to react or respond to this call by the APC is one of the spokespersons of the Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Council, Dino Melaye. Senator, thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, first of all, would like to get your reaction to this call from the APC Presidential Campaign Council that your principal, Atiku Abubakar, should be arrested based on allegations made by one aide of his, one Michael Achimugu.
Anyway, my first reaction to people who have regarded as Tinubu media jesters is that the press briefing today by these media jesters, I have christened it Tinubu's media gang and the pity of electoral hallucination. Because as far as I'm concerned, it is a joke taken too far. The so-called Mike, who is a professional blackmailer, if you go on social media, if you go on Facebook, you will know that there are two pending cases in court, criminal charges against him for blackmail, for extortion. One against QS Aminu in Kogi State, one against a woman he defrauded for blackmail. All these are out there. So that is to say that this is a orca of illusion, a professional blackmailer to start with. But it is just that one did not know that the desperation of Tinubu and this is media jesters will take this issue that is so frivolous, that is so untrue, that is so unfounded, to this level of mediocrity. I'm so surprised to see a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Festus Keyamo, and his other jesters behaving in a very myopic, porous, parochial, and intellectually stagnant manner. This is the first time. It can only happen in Nigeria, where an armed robber will be accusing the innocent man of criminality, where a known armed robber, a known drug dealer, a man who has been convicted of drug in America, who over 340 million naira, equivalent of $460,000, was confiscated, and there is an indictment already on him. Is a convicted criminal in the United States of America. We call for the prosecution of an innocent Nigerian. In fact, one of the most investigated Nigerians, Atiku Abubakar, who has come out very clean. He has never in life been prosecuted for any criminality. He has never faced ICPC, EFCC, or code of conduct. But Tinubu, in his own case, was in the code of conduct for perjury. He was tried for perjury. There's an indictment against him in the United States of America. There's over a dozen petitions right now waiting for him in the EFCC. There are plethora of cases against him in ICPC. And this is the type of drug baron and possibly a drug addict. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear that for you to be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you must be physically and mentally fit. Tinubu is not physically fit, is not mentally fit. To be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, then it is so laughable that instead of calling for the resignation and apology of Tinubu, you will now talk about Atiku Abubakar. And I want to state without fear of favor that Mike is hired by the APC and by Tinubu to say all he has said. After they have executed that, they are going to phase 2. And that is the phase of distraction. Because Tinubu is aware that having been suffocated in the campaign field and space, having been defeated electorally on the campaign field, they have no credible means of speaking to Nigerians. Next is to distract the PDP and our credible presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, so that we will be distracted and be defending ourselves. But that is elementary. That is a beer parlor mentality.
Senator Dino Melaye, if I may come in here, Senator Melaye. Yes, you've said a lot. And so a lot of questions will be raised. Some will say your principal, which you're praising to the high heavens, has never been, indicted. Some would say perhaps because he's been clever, like what Michael has been claiming, that he set up SPVs. But for clarity's sake, are you dismissing that Michael was ever an aide to Atiku Abubakar? Are you dismissing the recordings and the publications that have been made? And if you claim this person is a blackmailer, a known blackmailer, what is your principal doing in that regard? Are you going to press charges? Why have you let him continue to go free?
Let me start by telling you that I have just enumerated clearly that this man is a professional blackmailer and there's history of him blackmailing 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the past. But let me say this, that the issue of him being an aide of Atiku Abubakar is fallacious, is malicious, is a lie from the pit of hell. I am the spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar. I have a letter of appointment signed by Atiku Abubakar appointing me as the spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar. I am the director of public affairs of the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Organization. That letter was signed by Governor Tambuwal, who is the Director General of the PCC. Let him show you a letter appointing him as a media head of Atiku Abubakar or any assignment he has carried out where he's signed as the media aide of Atiku Abubakar. And it is so shameless, so pitiable that Keyamo will open his jaw to say that he is an aide of Atiku Abubakar and he presented 2 letters. The 2 letters that is flying around the social media were signed by 2 support organizations. One, Atiku support organization, the other one, TCOMS. Support groups. As I'm sitting with you in this room now, I can decide to form a support group for Atiku Abubakar. That support group does not have the mandate of Atiku Abubakar. It is just a support group. So he paraded 2 support groups. I expected Keyamo to know the difference between an aide and a letter from a support group. Understand? So it is so pitiable that you now call that kind of a person an aide of Atiku Abubakar. And we are in the era of technology. There is a technology called voiceover. I can carry your voice and put on mine. I can put Tinubu's head on Shetima's shoulder. I can carry Shetima's shoulder and put on Tinubu's head. All this you saw Mike doing is that Mike was hired by the APC and Tinubu to first go and malign the character of Atiku. Then afterwards, they will start coming up with all these type of shenanigans. Today, why is the petition to EFCC, to ICPC and Code of Conduct written today? Why was it that it is the chamber of Festus Keyamo that wrote that petition? So I am telling you that this is the last time Dino Melaye, as spokesperson of Atiku, or the People's Democratic Party, will react to frivolity. We are not going to be distracted because we know that the main purpose of this is to distract us from focusing on the campaign and from telling Nigerians exactly what we want to do for them. We will not be interested in frivolities and beer parlor talks. We are going to tell Nigerians that Atiku is going to tackle the issue of corruption. Atiku is going to tackle the issue of insecurity. Atiku is going to restructure Nigeria. Atiku will provide affordable, available, credible power supply to this country. Atiku is going to provide community policing to reduce the issue of insecurity in this country. Atiku is going to work on job creation, on unemployment. Atiku is going to correct the satanic manifestation of APC. Atiku is going to make sure
Senator
that
Dino
fertilizer
Melaye,
will be available.
If I may come in very quickly, yes, he has to become president for him to, do all of these things that you reel out. How far is the Atiku Presidential Campaign Council ready to go to clear its name and to give Nigerians confidence that indeed the man they are planning to vote for those who, would want to do that, has no question of integrity around his name?
Let me tell you that Atiku Abubakar is known to Nigerians. We knew what he has done in the past as Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and as the Chairman of the Economic Council in this country, where we got debt cancellation, where today ICT has completely revolutionized the economy of this country. The fastest growing sector of our national life today is ICT. If there was no GSM, today you will not be talking of electronic banking. You will not be talking of all the development that have been associated with ICT. So we are saying that this man knows the job. During his time, he brought the people like Soludo, who made sure that there is bank consolidation Understand? And today we have credible banks. You know what banking used to be in this country. You know that Atiku Abubakar is not only intellectually mobile, is not only administratively sagacious. The man has a talent, a special talent from God in getting the right square pegs in square holes. You know that Okonjo-Iweala, you know that El-Rufai, you know that people like Charles Soludo were all discovered by Atiku Abubakar. And I want to tell you that nepotism is one of our major problems in this country. And if with Atiku Abubakar, we will outgrow that. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you cannot give what you don't have. The house that Bola Ahmed is living in Asokoro today used to be the property of Lagos State government. His house on Bodilum used to be the property of Lagos State government. TVC television in Lagos is where their house, the headquarters where they are now, used to be the property of Lagos government. So, and we all know that this man has been indicted as a drug baron, convicted as a drug baron. Do you want Nigeria to produce Pablo as president and then produce Osama bin Laden as vice president? Do you want to destroy this country beyond the level, the magnitude that they have destroyed it today? Today, as I speak to you, many children are orphans. Many fathers, many wives, understand, have no husbands. And I'm telling you, just because of the incompetence and incapacitation of APC, and the man who has called himself the national chairman, national leader of that party,
if we
want him to come and
those are very strong words, very strong allegations. Yes,
because you are a lawyer, Dino Melaye, a graduate of law. You should know better. But you haven't responded to my question. Sorry, Senator Melaye, you haven't responded to my earlier question. You claim this person is a blackmailer, a known blackmailer. And I said, what are the options open to you, to your principal, to your party? I mean, you claim he's maligning the personality of your principal. You say it's a distraction, but social media has been feasting on this. The main media has not picked on this, and you still call it a distraction. Don't you think it's putting a dent to your campaign? And what are your options?
I'm telling you that it's a distraction. It's a distraction, and my option is not going to be on Arise TV. We are a very organized body, and we know what to do, and we know how to redress this legally, and we know where to go. But that is not going to be enumerated or expatiated on the television station.
Well, thank you very much. You have been able to at least tell us that you have a way of dealing with this.
I want to assure you that this distraction will not work. Atiku is focused on rebuilding this country, is focused on ameliorating our problems, and they have seen that they have completely failed. They have a candidate who is shaking like jelly water. You have a candidate who is not healthy. You have a candidate who is a drug baron. You have a candidate that is facing various criminal charges. Atiku have not
those are your words, and they're just allegations. But we must thank you very much for coming on the news tonight to tell your own side of the story. We do wish your candidate and your party the best.